Brace yourself for this response.
I am very excited about this video series. My new favorite Christian clown, Michael Jones, aka Inspiring Philosophy, recently made a video attacking the marriage of Aisha radiallahu anha to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I know. What else is new, right? But let's get on with it.
A Muslim has challenged me on Muhammad's marriage to Aisha. Brace yourself for this response.
Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was persecuted heavily for 2 years straight and even throughout his whole entire prophethood. And they would say anything to tarnish his reputation. If he was a pedo, how come nobody pointed that out?
So your argument is no one in Muhammad's time and region thought it was immoral to have a child bride. That is a useless argument to make because the popularity of a belief does not determine whether it is objectively right or wrong. Are you a moral relativist? Do you believe that cultures determine what is right or wrong? If anything, that would show Muhammad was a product of the morally corrupt culture of his time. It's unlikely he was getting divine revelations from a morally perfect being if he thought it was okay to have a child bride.
Okay, settle down. Your angry face is about as intimidating as a cartoon bird. I agree. The argument is not as strong as the brother thought. Just because a particular practice was common or popular does not make it right or wrong. I mean, it wasn't only the Arabs who had no problem with early marriage. Christians like Thomas Aquinas believed that betrothals could occur as early as age 7, so long as the marriage partners consented upon reaching puberty. And while it was apparently rare, such marriages did occur, with church approval no less. In 1396, Richard III married Isabella, a girl who was not yet 7 years old. The marriage occurred in the Church of St. Nicholas, and was presided over by the Archbishop of Canterbury. But let's get back to Jones's comical anger and his even more comical argument. What did he say again?
If anything, that would show Muhammad was a product of the morally corrupt culture of his time. It's unlikely he was getting divine revelations from a morally perfect being if he thought it was okay to have a child bride.
Ah, yes. So apparently a morally perfect being would not have allowed such marriages. I wonder why this is a strange argument coming from a Bible-thumping Christian. Oh yeah, let the show begin. Wow, talk about morally corrupt. Burning women, murdering young boys but keeping the girls, killing every living thing in the city, forced marriages and humiliating captive women, killing women for not providing a bloody cloth as proof of virginity. The Bible has it all. But let's take a closer look at Numbers 31. After brutally murdering the boys, all female virgins were spared and taken by the Israelites. According to the JPS Torah commentary, these virgins included both children and adults, who were to be taken as slaves or wives. How's that for morally corrupt? Oh, but we're not done yet. In Ezekiel 16, 7-8, the God of the Bible uses the metaphor of a pubescent girl to describe the nation of Israel. He refers to Israel coming of age by developing female sexual characteristics associated with puberty. This is defined as the age for love, i.e., sexual intercourse. This is astonishing, since as Moshe Greenberg explains in his commentary, these characteristics are indicative of the signs of puberty. In other words, the girl has just entered puberty and yet was ready for, quote, love. This is significant because in modern medicine, the stages of puberty are typically divided into Tanner stages, with stages 2 and 3 corresponding to the characteristics described in Ezekiel 16. That means that the metaphorical girl, represented by Israel, could have been as young as 9 and not older than 12. This more or less corresponds to the typical age of marriage in antiquity. So at the end of the day, Christians like the angry bird Michael Jones have no biblical grounds from which to attack the marriage of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and Aisha radiallahu anha. Of course, this still would not logically prove whether the marriage is right or wrong. That will be the discussion of the other videos in this series, inshallah. So far, we have only established that there is no biblical basis for such criticism.
وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا